guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be another tutorial using the new Romantic palette. I'm sorry, I hope you guys aren't bored of it already, but you know what? I have been enjoying this a lot more than I thought I would. The mattes in particular, really enjoying playing with them, and I'm just finding myself using this in every single look in the run up to Valentine's Day. So yeah, we're gonna be using it again, and I wanted to try and do something a little bit different, and this is the look that I came up with. I'm also wearing this really cute mini dress from River Island that I got on eBay. It's super pretty and it's definitely a going out dress, but obviously there's nowhere to go out, so you know what, I think it's good enough for YouTube. So if you'd like to see how I got this look, then just keep watching. Alright guys, so I've just gone ahead and primed my eyes as always with my PW's base, and I've also just glued down my eyebrows using the Pink Honey Original Super Hold. I will have a video about that one coming up on Saturday, but in the meantime, let's jump once more into the new Romantic palette. I kind of can't get enough of this palette. It's the only thing I've used since my review of it, I think. Yeah, apart from using the Urban Decay Moon Dust in my last video, I haven't actually reached for another palette yet, so it's doing pretty well. So I'm going to start off with a Morphe M410, which is like a little liner brush. I'm going to go into ink, and I'm going to go for something more winged out, but I want to do like a double wing. Well, you guys will have already seen this by this point anyway, so I'm just going to make sure I don't take this too low. I'm just drawing that wing out, kind of following my outer corner and just following the shape of my lower lash line. And then I'm going to take the same shade on a Morphe M124, which is just a flat shadow brush, and I'm going to pack it on just inside that line. That does pack on quite well. I'm just going in a diagonal and then coming up in a straight line towards that wing. I've gone underneath a little bit, but that's fine. I will clean it up. Just gonna make sure that's nice and even, and that packs on really well. Nothing bad to say about that. And then without taking any extra product, I'm just also gonna pull that shape into the crease slightly. Okay, it's looking a little bit messy right now. I'm not gonna worry too much about it. Just giving me my base shape. I've just pulled it outwards slightly on the other side, so I'm just gonna do that a little bit here as well. Just like that. Next up, I'm gonna jump into the shade Muffin down here on a Morphe M456. Haven't actually tried any of these more browny shades. And I'm just gonna come in with that on top, right in the crease, just to blend that out. I'm gonna add a little bit more. And I'm really staying inside my crease. I don't want to go too high with this. So next up on the lid, I'm going to take the shade Claret, which I have used in every single look using this palette. And I'm just taking it on a Zoeva 231. And I'm just going to add it next to ink on the lid and just pack it on, taking it right up to the crease. Just going to blend it in and bring it backwards a little. And then I'm just taking the brush that I used with ink, although I haven't added any extra product just yet, just again to blend it out. Might just take Claret just a little bit further in, I think. So now on another flat brush, I'm going to go into the shade Queen, and that's going to go all on the front. Getting it right up to the crease. And then I'm going to take it a little bit over the top of Claret so that I can start blending them out. And then I'm just going to go back in with some more of Claret. Now I'm just going to take back the M456 that I used with Muffin, and I'm just going to come in and blend in the crease. Just going to add a little bit more of Muffin. And then I'm going to take a clean M456, and this time I'm going to go into Lingerie, and I'm going to come in and blend the top edge of my crease, and I'm going really slowly because I just want to make sure that I don't start taking that up any higher. Just making sure that the outer corner is winged out. I'm just quickly going to take a little bit of my P. Louise base just to define the underneath again. And then I'm just going to come back underneath with that first brush. And then with my M124. And then lastly with a Morphe M330, I'm just going to jump into some of Vanilla. And I'm going to pat that on my brow bone. And then I'm going to soften the edge up. So now I'm going to jump into one of the liquid eyeshadows from the trio that came with the palette, and this is the shade Carnelian, who knows, I still have no idea. I'm going to take my Morphe M508, which is just this small smudger brush, and I'm just going to take it off of here, and I'm going to layer it on top of the inner portion, just to make it a bit more interesting. I do prefer it when they make glittery versions of these liquid eyeshadows. Some of them are just metallic and I don't know, they just don't make me as excited as ones that have glitter. I've just let that dry down and I think I am going to add some more. Just try and get that extra sparkly. It is pretty, but I feel like I would want it to be like a little bit more extra. I've just gone ahead and primed my lower lash line so that I can jump straight into the next step. So I'm going to start off with the shade Ink again on that same Morphe M410 that I used at the start. And I'm going to get that right in the lashes. As I said, I want this to be very winged out, very elongated, and I want a double wing. So when I get here, I'm just going to trace out a second wing just below the first one. Just going to make sure to connect it up. And then I'm going to do something similar at the front. So I'm just going to use the same brush and just take it downwards, just below the tear duct. And again, I'm going to take that M124. Still haven't added any extra product because I had so much on there earlier. I'm just going to try and blend all that out a little bit. Then on another small flat brush, I'm going to take Claret again, and I'm just going to come and blend that underneath. And I'm going to take that all the way underneath that wing as well. And then making sure to take it into the front. And then finally on a Morphe M506, I'm gonna take Birthday really lightly and just use that to finish blending out that lower lash line. Okay, I think that's it for the eyeshadow. So next up I'm going to take my Ofra Verified liquid liner and I am going to add a wing. I'm going to get all the way into the inner corner. And I'm getting some bleeding at the front, which I was hoping wouldn't happen, but it does every time. I'm not too sure why, but I seem to be having issues finishing the wing off. It's almost like the pen is getting stuck in something. No idea what that is. So I'm just going to finish that off with a tiny bit of gel liner. And exactly what I didn't want to happen has happened. I will clean that up with some P. Louise base. So just grabbing some base on a liner brush. I want the inner corner to be nice and white, so I'm going to take my Revolution highlighter Reloaded in Set the Tone. I'm just taking that on a really small brush and I'm going to get that right into the outer corner, just above that little wing. I'm also just going to take a little bit on this fan brush. It's a Morphe M558 and I'm going to do my brow bone as well. I'm just going to take that liner brush from the beginning and make sure the inner corner is nice and sharp. Then I'm just going to take the Ofra liner again and I'm going to extend that wing. Okay, and then finally I'm going to go in with some extra glitter. I'm going to take the BH Cosmetics OMG Glitter and this is the shade Illuminating and I want that in between my two wings. I think I'm going to do it on the inner corner as well, actually. And I'm also going to add some black eyeliner on both of my waterlines, and this one is by Wet n Wild. That is it for the eyes, so I'm just going to clean up any fallout that I've got, and that way we can move on to the face. Alright, so I've just cleaned up the fallout, and I also went ahead and added a second coat of the silver glitter because I just felt like it needed like a teeny tiny bit more. And then I realised that I'd actually forgotten to do this inner corner completely. Went ahead and put some on and put on way too much, and it's now in my eye. Just be careful with glitter liner on your inner corner, basically. Anyway, that's not what I wanted. I'm really struggling to decide what I want to use today. I think I might go with the Too Faced Hangover Primer. Why not? Just do a couple of pumps. I think I want to go very full coverage today, so I just need to be hydrated. And then let's just mattify the nose with the Smashbox Oil and Shine Control Primer. And I really do just use a tiny bit because I'm not using it over my whole face, literally just the areas where I get oily. For foundation, I'm going to use the MUA Pro Base Longwear Matte Finish Foundation. My shade is 110. I've not used it on camera in a while. I've used it on Instagram because, you know, I kind of need the coverage at the moment, but I've not used it on camera, so why not? I just take some on my PC19 by Peaches and Cream, and I do just recommend some sort of hydrating primer underneath. Even though I have more oily skin, it is quite a thick foundation, so you just want to make sure that it doesn't go cakey. It doesn't seem to be sitting very well on my forehead for some reason today. So I'm just going to finish that blending with a sponge. Just got so much skin texture at the moment, so I don't know if that's what's causing it. I'm going to do some spot concealing using my Conceal and Define Infinite in the shade C5. Right, and then for highlighting, I'm going to take the W7 Very Vegan Perfectly Matte again in the shade Fair, because I want to see what happens on my under eye today, if it's going to sit nicely or not. Right, moment of truth then. Let's see what happens. Okay, it seems to be sitting fine today. It hasn't done that weird peely breaking up thingy that happened last week. Monday when I filmed. Guys, I don't remember what days are what anymore. Time isn't a reality, let's face it. But yeah, that seems to be sitting fine. So maybe it was related to the fact that I'd used retinol the night before. It is a matte concealer, so it is going to be a bit drier. I don't know. So far, 2 times out of 3, it seems to be sitting well. Okay, so now I'm just going to powder that down with my MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in the shade Light. Okay, I think today I want to go pretty bronzy, pretty contoured. So I'm going to start off with my Revolution, God, what is this called? Bronzer Reloaded in Holiday Romance. I talk about this one so much, you would think I would know what it's called, but apparently not. And then I'm just going to contour with the center shade from the Revolution and Patricia Bright Moonlight Glow palette. Okay, for blush, I'm going to switch it up a little bit, and I'm going to take the Colourpop and Sailor Moon blush in From the Moon. Just taking that on my Jaclyn Hill Amorphe JH06. I'm going to go in really softly with this, because the last time I used it, I had that issue with my foundation separating, and I think I was maybe just pressing a bit too hard. And then I'm going to tie the highlighter back into the eyes, so I'm going to go back into my Revolution highlighter and set the tone. I'm just going to go and do my brows and my lashes off camera, and then I'll come back to do the lips. Alright, so my brows and lashes are now done. For my lashes, I have of course gone with Ivy's from by Libby Beauty. It's literally all I ever wear, but I've just done half a lash, so it's just a pair that I've cut in half, just because when I do this type of look, it is just really nice to really like elongate everything. So far, every look that I've done with this palette, I've done a matching lip, and I want to change things up. So I think I'm going to go nude. I'm just dropping stuff. So I'm going to start off with my Barry M lip kit in the shade Go To. Guys, I think I've almost finished this, and this is my second tube. I might need another at some point, apparently. So I've just let the lipstick dry down, and while I was doing that, I went to check something on Amazon, and I placed an order earlier today for Sunday, and I realized it was still in my basket, and I hadn't hit checkout. This is like the second time in the last 2 weeks that this has happened to me. I don't know what's wrong with me. I think it is just like not leaving the house. I'm just like not functional anymore. Anyway, I'm just gonna finish that off with the e.l.f. Mint Melt Gloss in the shade Mint Chocolate. And then finally, I'm just gonna set everything in place with my Iconic London Prep Set and Glow. Oh, that plumping gloss, my God. I can feel that. Alright guys, here is the finished look. I hope as always that you like it. Sorry, my lips are a little bit on fire from the plumping lip gloss, and I want to film an empties video afterwards, so I hope it's not going to last too long. I feel like I have achieved my goal of trying to do something a little bit different with this palette. I mean, I keep reaching for the same colours in there because they're the ones that interest me the most, but I've also used ones I've never tried before and gone for a slightly different shape. I will link all the looks that I've done with this palette so far in the description box, so definitely let me know in the comments which one is your favourite. If you enjoyed this video, then do as always, please make sure you give it a big thumbs up, leave me a comment letting me know what you thought of it, and if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you don't miss out on my next video, and I'll see you all on the next one. Bye guys!